That's why it looks so familiar. That's right. That's right.
Ma'am, can you wear this for me? This microphone? I appreciate it.
Oh my gosh, the best.
Hi, I'm good. How are you? Good to see you again. You too. Thank you. So here, let me just step out real quick. So in here, I'm just having a conversation with them, or did you all set an expectation? I want to make sure I'm covering things, or am I just talking to the kids?
I think you're just talking to the kids and talking about like maybe your journey. But let's ask Ms. Montez because she said
Okay, yeah, she said it was no really.
no real. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think
yeah.
like these three and there are probably three more coming.
Okay.
Are in our leadership group.
Okay, okay. So this is the leadership strain I'm talking to.
Actually, this young man too. So
Okay.
I think there'll probably be 7 or 8.
Okay,
that are
cool.
coming in.
And I'll just give them opportunity to ask questions and stuff like
Talk
that.
about your journey, what you've done, how you made the decision to run, and all that stuff. You know,
Okay.
What it's like being there, the stuff that you're doing.
You really want me to tell what it's like being?
Well, maybe the PG version.
No, I mean, but it's important for them to know,
need to
like the
understand,
process and stuff. So that's why I had her pull up the Colorado General Assembly website so I could point some things out for their information. Because in school, like if they have the seniors, like do they get some kind of break or like a free period or something?
A lot of them do. They don't
Okay.
have a full schedule.
Okay. So the ones that don't have full schedules and they want to testify on a bill, but they can't get up there, they can go online and do it. So I was going to bring all that stuff to their attention too.
Great.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, cool. Thank you. You're welcome. Thanks for having me. So we're waiting for just a few more students.
Yeah, I
Okay.
know there was a few coming back.
Okay, that's fine because I'm waiting on Hashim to send me something really quick.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Let me call.
We can sit over there. Yeah. Will I be on camera if I sit over there? I don't think so. I'm not sure to be on camera. Oh, I remember you. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm great.
Good.
School sleep. Can't get much better than that.
I know, huh?
Okay, then. Okay, so the numbers. First name, last name. sitting out in case there's drop-ins or make room for the event?
It's up to you.
No, like we just we don't want to be in the way, or we also want to respectfully giving the full hours if you want. Yeah, the 4 hours.
Yeah, it's up to you. I didn't send for any more students, so.
Okay.
Okay, bye. I shall be right back.
Probably about that. It sounds like we got a lot of people coming in for the event. We'll make some space for that.
Okay, sounds good. We'll see you next month. Okay, let me just confirm the date.
Oh yeah. Let me grab my laptop because I don't remember it off the top of my head.
CC be way worse.
Y'all been rolled out with the hot sauce yet. Y'all gonna get to my age? The hot sauce.
I have Monday, February 23rd.
Serious.
Yeah,
Tell us.
for sure.
I have us at every second Tuesday. So February 2nd.
What is it? Probably sick. Y'all don't get used to that.
Should it be February 24th?
Sign in.
We can see if we can adjust that, but what we were talking about is every second Tuesday. Can you see that? Yeah.
I can go ahead first.
I might have just. Okay, so the 24th. February 24th. Is the 10th not available? So we were trying to, we've been telling our students that we're here every second Tuesday. Okay. So I have a sprint. So I'm glad I'm the right practice. Yeah, just tell me. Okay, I've got February 10th, I've got March 10th. April 14th was tentative. I think you said there might be something going on that week. Yeah, the state testing. Yeah, so we also blocked out the 21st. We blocked out the 21st. Which the 14th. Yeah. Okay. Got it. And all 18. All adjustment states. Okay. Because I think I'm offline. I'll go back and adjust. Okay, sounds good. On the 10th. Okay, I think we're both. Are you ready? Okay, so I think you're ready to get started.
Okay, so I'm just gonna be up here. Okay.
Okay, you guys ready? Sign in if you haven't signed in, and then just give her your undivided attention, okay?
Still in the morning. Good morning. How's everybody doing? I think you should probably position yourself where you can shift around to ask questions if needed or to actually engage in the conversation.
Yeah, so you're going to spin around.
So first, I'm State Representative Dr. Regina English. I represent Southeast Colorado Springs. Some of my district overlaps here. And I wanted to come and share with you all today about some of the ways we work as legislators and just kind of share my story a little bit as to how I got to where I am today and just give you some information as students that you may not know in terms of how you too can participate in the legislative process if that's something you choose to do or not. But I'm obligated to share not only my lived experience, but my shared experience and my experience as a leader in the state of Colorado with you all to bring you into the know of what's going on across your state, and particularly in education, things that affect you all. So throughout the conversation, I like to just call it a conversation, not so much of a presentation, because I like for students to interact and actually ask questions and engage in the conversation. So at any point, if there's something that I'm saying and you want some clarity or you have a question or you just want to interject, please feel free to do so. Just to give a little personal information about who I am outside of the legislature, because I believe that's important for people to actually know the whole person. So outside of the legislature, I'm a mom. I have 5 adult children. They went to Harrison School District 2, so they graduated from Harrison High School, and my daughters graduated from Sierra High School. I have 11 grandbabies and 1 on the way, so that's what keeps me busy outside of the legislature. I'm also a business owner. I have a clothing boutique right in part of the heart of Southeast District. It's called Your Favorite Fashionista, right on Jet Wing and Shelton. And I also have a life coaching business, and I have a speaking business, and I have a scholarship pageant for African American young ladies that I've been running since 2014, and I have a nonprofit called BU. It's basically like a leadership institute for young adults, and I have been running that nonprofit since 2016. So there are so many different moving parts of me and other people in the legislature that we do when we're not actually in the legislature. And first, the legislature, we start tomorrow. We go back into our 75th session of the Colorado General Assembly, and that will be tomorrow at 10. And when the legislature begins, we're in for 120 days. So essentially it goes from January to May. And that's when we're having conversations, we're putting policy on the table, we're having committee hearings, we're allowing community to come in and weigh in. And that's something I really want to emphasize for you all. If you don't know that your voice matters, especially when it comes to education or anything else that you're passionate about, that you're able to weigh in as students, whether you can come personally to the People's House, because that's what it is, the People's House. We're the people. Everyone is welcome at the People's House when session is in. But if you cannot get up there personally, you can go on to the Colorado General Assembly website and you can click on committee, and that's why I wanted that to be pulled up so we can, when we get further in the conversation, walk through some things on the website so you will all know for your information. But quickly, even just before I really get started and go into that, is there a thought someone has, or is there a question that someone has particularly about the legislative process or civic understanding, civic responsibility? Okay, let me ask y'all a question. Anybody want to be a legislator or an elected official, go into politics, government? No? Y'all just came in here because y'all didn't want to go to class? I'm just asking. I mean, or y'all, okay, can somebody give me one reason why they came to talk to me? Please.
Maybe I know it'll be interesting.
Oh,
Either way.
that's good. Okay, so maybe afterwards you may be interested or inspired to become an elected official. That's fair. What about you? See how I'm calling you out because I remember your face?
Well, again, because I know you know.
Oh, well, okay.
And I remember you.
Okay, cool. Anybody else? Real quick? No?
I can't.
A lot more highly encouraged because it was insisted that they should see other options.
Absolutely.
They don't want to say like they were bullied out.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say it's his fault, but we're also in a club called Leadership.
Uh-huh.
So, yeah, they highly suggested we should come.
Okay, good. And that's important because there are many different type of leadership styles. There are many different types of leadership paths and leadership capacities that you can operate in, bringing your skill set full circle with other leaders, thought leaders, creative thinkers, and make sure that the changes you want to see can be created through your leadership and that leadership path. But I will say how I got started in this role. Never seen myself in this role at all. I didn't want any parts of politics because we see what politics can do to the lives of people. We see what politics can do to our nation. So I wasn't one of those people that was like, hey, when I grow up, I'm going to be a elected official or I'm going to be the president of the United States. I just wanted to be an attorney, that's all. That's where I wanted to level set. I wanted to go to the Air Force and become an attorney. But clearly my path changed. But when I came to Colorado, I've lived in Colorado since 1998. We came by the military. But boots on the ground, we came at the end of 1998. And 1999 is where my community service and community work actually started here in the state of Colorado. I started coaching. Y'all won't be familiar with the Police Athletic League. Y'all won't. Will you? Okay. So there was, it was called PAL, the Police Athletic League. And I had little kids. My kids were small when we moved here. So I became a basketball coach for PAL. And I became a cheerleading coach for PAL. And then I started connecting with different community organizations and people that were here just to plug myself in and to keep my kids plugged in, because I wanted to make sure if there was a lack of, I could bridge the gap through my leadership and what type of community I wanted to have my kids experience growing up so that they can make good decisions. So I jumped in boots on the ground from 1999 and it's just evolved since then. But what brought me to this space, I was saying, as my kids got older, I was that mom, the soccer mom, the volleyball mom, the tennis mom, you name it. My kids did every single sport you can think of. So I was engaged in schools in that way, and I ended up being on the Principals Advisory Council, and I ended up being the very involved parent. It's called the VIP. I'm not sure what they call it right now, but I was the very involved parent coordinator. So I would coordinate with schools across Harrison School District 2 to create events for parents and for families to come and get involved. I would create opportunities for students to be involved after school. And I was cool with that. I wanted to just level set right there and stay in y'all personal space because y'all be spilling the tea. Y'all like, I need y'all to wake up, get excited or do something. I know, right? But anyway, so I was most comfortable in the schools with you all, just having conversations. If somebody was in distress, they would come to Representative English, or not Representative English at the time, but I was the VIP mom at the time. So students would trust me enough to have conversations, because I'm not going to tell your parents unless it's a matter of life and death. So I'm that person that they can say stuff to, and you know, if they needed some advice, I was that person, and I was comfortable there. But even in being in that realm, the students noticed that there was an opening on the school board, and they was like, Miss, we need you to run for school board. And I'm like, no, I'm cool, I'm gonna stay here and I'm gonna kick it with y'all. I'd rather be here. I don't want all that other stuff, the politics of things. I was just trying my best to steer clear, right? But it didn't happen that way. Eventually I accepted it and was like, cool, let me go ahead and run for school board. And at the time there were 2 seats open and there were 5 applications, and then at the end 3 people weren't able to get their signatures, or 2 of them, and one of them I think decided not to run or something along those lines happened. So I got on school board by acclamation, and so we didn't even have to have like a real election. And so I served on the Board of Education for Harrison School District 2 as the vice president, and then when I was going out, I served as the treasurer. But in serving on the Board of Education, I recognized that the impact could be greater, because as school board directors, there's only so much we can do when it comes to policy. The policies that school boards usually create is policies to monitor and achieve results for a school district, not so much of creating actual comprehensive policy that we can create on a state level as a legislator. So understanding that, prior to me running for State House, I ran for City Council twice, and I didn't win. But the person who served in my role now, House District 17, was Senator Tony Exum. And now he's the senator for our district, and he was term limited. So he endorsed me to run for his seat. So we came together as leaders, and we ran together, and we won together, and we're going to keep winning together, because that's our purpose, and that's what it's going to be in our community, because it's needed and it's necessary, and it's important to have the right people in seats making decisions that are thoughtful, especially when it comes to education, and not someone just giving you a feel-good message or a rehearsed message. It's someone that can share from the heart and actually make the impact in those types of ways. So that's the type of leader that I pride myself on being. Actually listening because before I came to your school, I toured many different schools. Prior to your winter break, I was able to go to different schools and have conversations with students. This is probably the smallest group. I think the largest group was maybe 200, but just having conversations on how you all feel about school safety or different things you want to see, which helped me to create a policy to make sure I can help with some of those things that I was actually hearing from students, because I was intentional with that. And what I heard from students as I was doing the school tours is that it doesn't matter what we say. You guys don't listen to us anyway. That's not true. I listen. I listen to understand so that I can help be a part of the solution. And many students said, you know, when the school shootings have been happening and the incident that happened here in Colorado Springs, how students just didn't feel safe, and how they feel like the response and the information that was deciphered, it could have been more intentional and more abrupt than how it was. And this is just students having conversations with me. So I listen to those things and ask for solutions and create working groups with students to actually engage, because I do have like a legislative student advisory council where I meet with groups of students to say, hey, what's going on? What do you want to see? What's happening? What do you want to talk about that's happening at the Capitol? So I've created many different advisory boards of different people and different leaders in the community to help kind of spearhead the work that we do at the Capitol. Because although we're the representatives as the state representative and the senator, we still have to make sure we can collectively take our community voice to the Capitol, and most importantly for me is student voice. And perhaps this leadership strand should see if you can make a visit up to the Capitol this session. We have students in the hallways daily. It's like a field trip. We have students that can come and do the Pledge of Allegiance in the morning. We just have to know so we can get it on the schedule. I have students that come and they follow me all day. They come to committee, they chill in my office, and every move I make, I bring them with me. I bring students with me because I think it's important for you to see things happen in real time. And I already have like 4 busloads of students that are coming from different schools across the state of Colorado, not just Colorado Springs, because it's collectively about all students, although my focus is students of Colorado Springs because that's the community I represent, and how can we have a greater impact up there. And so this legislative work,
It's off of Shelton and Jetney, right?
girl, what you talking about? The the boutique. Your mind just stayed right there. It's all good. No, cool. So you know where Sierra High School is, and then the YMCA, and then there's a car wash, and then there's like a strip mall right there. It's right in that strip mall. Yep, it's right in there. So, and I'm glad you said that, because that's a part of economic vitality and what that looks like for me in creating access and opportunities, because I actually have 2 students that work for me in my boutique. And so it's bigger than working for me in my boutique. It's learning how to market, it's learning how to strategize, and it's learning how to run a business. Because in conjunction with my life coaching, I do business consulting. And so what better way to bring young people in, like for the basics, so you can know and understand how to run a business if you wanted to start your own business. And my organization that I shared with you, if you have a business or something you want to do, I use my platform to create a platform for you to elevate your voice, elevate your product, elevate what it is you want to do, because that's one of my platforms. That's one of my largest platforms. I'd rather kick it with y'all any day, I promise. So seriously, yeah. It's just different when you are coachable and willing to listen and want to learn and want to evolve and become your best self. It's just different. I mean, when you're already seasoned, I call us seasoned people, not old people, I call us seasoned people. You know, it's a little tougher and it's a little different, unless you have a willingness and an openness to actually listen to a coach or a consultant or even a legislator. But I will say, where I am now, I was supposed to be. And when you understand and really know your why and know that's your purpose and your destiny to be in a position of leadership as well as a position of power. And I said that to say, when you have power in your hands, it's very important to not mishandle the power that you have and use your power in a meaningful way. Because I'm one of 100 legislators. Did you all know the Colorado General Assembly is made up of 100 legislators? Between the House and the Senate, and there's more in the House than it is in the Senate. Did you all know that? No? I could show you though. But yeah, so we make up 100, and I serve as the vice chair of the Black Legislative Democratic Caucus of the state of Colorado, and we make up 8% of the state. So it's only, out of the whole entire 100 legislators, it's only 8 African American people, and we just, not we, but the state just elected on a vacancy committee an Asian American. So now we have an Asian American, we have Hispanic legislators, and so the diversity of the look of the legislature is changing, which is a good thing, because all perspectives certainly matter, and it's important that all of our voices are heard when we're at the table making decisions for us that impact us. And when I think about decision making, I think of long-term decisions, not just a quick fix or not just a feel good, sound good message. Here's what I bring to the table. I actually come with both shared experience, lived experience, and experience itself. And I have an associates, and oh yeah, I'm glad I'm saying this because I need to share with y'all. All things are possible. Anything you put your mind to do, you can achieve it if you stay consistent, because consistency is key. And when you start something, the goal should be to finish it, and the way you finish it is finish it strong. Even when you experience some of the turbulence or adversity and blocks, stumbling blocks that are going to be thrown in front of you, you just take them and start building on them. And then once you build on all those blocks that's been thrown at you, or let me say bricks, the foundation is solid. You think you can go push a brick and it move? You can if the foundation's not solid. So it's on you to make sure that what's been thrown at you, you create that solid foundation. Because as a leader, especially as a leader, in my capacity, And being a black woman is not a safe space. And so my strategy has to be different. I have to lean into community differently and be able to rise above the noise. And I've learned how to master that and be successful at doing it. But I have an associate's in drug and alcohol chemical dependency, so I have a CAC. And I did that for maybe about a couple years, but I said, no, this isn't for me. This is not something I want to do. But I still have that to fall back on and still operate in the community in that space should I choose to do so, which I can because I was just selected to be an opioid policy fellow because of the big drug epidemic and how it's just killing young people. So I'm excited that I've been selected to become a fellow to create some comprehensive policy to make sure we can save lives when it comes to drug abuse or overdose and things like that. And I have a bachelor's in management. I have a master's in public administration. And now I have a doctorate in management with a specialization in organizational leadership. And when I was working on my master's and when I was working on my master's, that's when I was running for city council and being on school board. Then I got on school board and I started working on my doctorate degree, right? So now I'm running a campaign, I'm working on a doctorate, so I'm writing a dissertation, I'm helping to write policy, I'm doing all the things, being a mom, being a grandma, and still being a business owner, doing all the things. And guess who got it done? Yes, girl, I got it done. Me, I got it done. Because you know what? No excuse was good enough. And it was not an option for me to quit. And it was non-negotiable for me to even have a conversation of quitting. Because I knew there was something greater, bigger than myself, that I wanted to achieve to be a more vocal, a more intentional person or intentional leader within the state that could impact change in a meaningful way. So all those things was process, right? So think about this. Who in here has ever been on an airplane? Everybody in here has flown? Okay. So what happens on the runway? Huh? No, not so much on the runway. Building speed. Building speed is building what? What's another word? Building speed. But the way you look at it in an analogy, the way I'm giving it as being on a plane. Because there's things that have to take place before the plane can go. It's cool. I help y'all. When you get in, you got to buckle up, right? Is that what the flight attendant says? Buckle up? So you got to buckle up. Get ready for the ride. Put everything away. Look at it as distractions. Because now you're in a process. You got to put everything away. Buckle up. So, boom. All my distractions are gone. Click. I'm safely clicked in. Now, we're backing up. Getting ready. We're getting on the runway. You said building speed. I say building capacity. So now, the process of the plane before it can take off is building capacity, right? What happens when you build enough capacity? You clear for what? What you say there? You are cleared for takeoff. So there is a process that you have to prepare yourself for, which is putting the seatbelt on, putting away all the distractions, getting on the runway, getting that speed together, building capacity so you can be clear for takeoff. Then once you're clear for takeoff, what happens? The higher you go. I call it evolution. What happens once you're clear for takeoff and the higher you go? Y'all know. I'm with the smartest kids in here. I'm with the leadership strand. What happens when you're cleared for takeoff and the higher you go? One of y'all already said it. No, one of y'all already said it though. Y'all said the word. What'd you say? Turbulence. The price you pay for flying high, or listen, for evolving is turbulence. That part of the turbulence is those bricks that I talked about that's going to be thrown at you, but you just laying a foundation so your foundation can be solid, so you can't be moved in your leadership position. So once you hit that turbulence, that means it's a little rocky for a little bit, but then what happens? What did the pilot do? Where's the pilot? What does the pilot do when turbulence happens? What do they get on a mic and say?
I need, he said that. I know. Okay, we get like enough turbulence.
Okay, so when you get in turbulence and the plane is rocking, the pilot, the captain gets on and say, sometimes planes that I've been on, sorry that we're experiencing unexpected turbulence. We're going to try to find some smooth air. Have you ever been on a plane like that? And he got on and said that? It's turbulent, so we're going to try to find you some smooth air. But oftentimes, the higher you go, the higher you evolve, you're going to experience turbulence. So that's the type of analogy I like to use to give you a different picture on the process, building capacity, being cleared for takeoff, being cleared to become an elected official, being cleared to become a leader, being cleared to become doctor, right? So everything that I have achieved, I had to build capacity and be cleared to do that. And the higher I go, it seems like the more turbulence I experience. So I'm always having to find some smooth air. But then once you find that smooth air and the process is complete, what does the captain get on and say to the flight attendants?
Then you keep driving, right? Because you're not saying air, so it just fly or something?
No. When you're almost to your destination, because you've done everything to achieve your goal, what does the captain get on and tell the flight attendants? Flight attendants, prepare for landing. So now you have completed your associates, your bachelor's, your master's, and your doctorate. Right? You were clear for takeoff. You achieved those goals, so now you're clear for landing. Then you just start all over, build capacity for the next thing you want to do. And that's how I look at it. And that's how I look at life. That's definitely how I look at leadership. Did y'all understand what I was saying about the plane and what you experienced? Okay, cool. Now let's talk about the legislative process. Just a little bit. How much time do we have? Because I don't know. I'm just talking.
We had you scheduled for an hour. You can take as much time as you need.
No. Nice. Let's go. Okay, so I want to talk about the legislative process. But first, I'll pause for a second. Someone talked to me about what I just shared, about building capacity, about evolving, about being clear for takeoff, then being clear for landing safely, a safe landing. But during that process, if you done unbuckled yourself, the flight attendants is coming back around telling you to buckle up, and the captain is saying prepare for landing. So still things you have to do at the end to make sure you really are prepared for landing. Somebody talk to me. I like people to talk to me. Y'all on the leadership strand and y'all ain't got nothing to say to a leader of the state? This is your opportunity to share whatever or what it means to you. What does that analogy mean to you in the moment you're in right now? Because y'all know y'all been building capacity since elementary. Now y'all in high school.
can still meet your end goal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. Thanks for sharing.
Okay, my answer is like similar to her. Like like to me, you kind of explain like he like pushing forward. It's gonna be like obstacles in a way. You have to like overcome those obstacles and stuff. Do your more important things first, and then that's what you do. This thing.
And no, who knows the safest place in a storm? Does anybody know the safest place in the storm? No? The eye. Were you going to say that? The eye is the safest place in the storm. And what I call the eye, when there's storms of life raging around me, is the center. The eye, the center of the storm. So you center yourself, which means you pause. Just pause. Pause for a second. Pause for a second, center yourself. But then you got to keep going. Because if you don't stop in a storm, you drive through it. So when things get tough, you got to just keep driving, keep pushing. When it's rain coming down where you can't see, or snow, or whiteout, like me and Sidney Raxon was in the other day, and I was so scared because of the unknown. But he just kept driving. He just kept driving. And my anxiety didn't even do nothing to him. He just kept driving. He just knew he needed to get us back to Colorado Springs. So we drove through that snowstorm. So I'm just, long story short, keep pushing, keep going, no matter what life throws at you. Because life throws so many different things at all of us. Our life can change just like that, right? And it could be some things that we're not prepared for. At the legislature, things change just like that. Where we have to pivot. And it's like, whoa, hold on. Or I could have prepared for a policy for weeks. Then it's on the table. Something comes up and they're like, oh, Rep. English, we had to take your bill off the calendar. Wait a minute, what? I had all my people coming to testify and all the things. I was prepared. My team was cool. And my bill is not on the calendar anymore today. Up there, that's a huge blow. Like, they make you do the matrix. For real. And so, understanding how to navigate as a leader in turbulence, when bricks are being thrown at you, when people are loud, telling you who you're not, pushing false narratives, or telling you what you can't do. You have to be able to push through all of it. Because everybody not going to be for, all your peers aren't going to be for you. All my colleagues ain't going to be for me. Because we all have different motives. We have different whys. We have different agendas. Whether it's a good agenda or a not so good agenda. That's all those things come with leadership. And all those come with leadership on the front line. Because I'm assuming all y'all, the leadership strand is on at the front line, right? Of the school. Y'all are the body of leaders. Is that right to assume? Yeah? Okay. Cool. Why need y'all to look and act like leaders? Y'all just looking at me like, what's wrong? What I need to do? Y'all need some candy? Y'all need some charm blow pop? What y'all need? What's happening? Some coffee? Yo, young, send me some coffee, girl. Okay. Let me give y'all some of this stuff for the legislature. So each legislator gets 5 priorities. So right off the bat, I know I'm going to the Capitol and I'm running 5 bills. 5 bills that come from my community, which the larger community educators, for example, the education lobby got a lot of money and they one of the biggest lobbies in the state. They lobby for and they lobby against. It can be a bill on the table that they say, hey, Rep. English, I want you to run this bill. And I might be like, no, I'm cool, I want to run my own bill. because I've been in here talking to the students, so I'm going to run what they want me to run, not what the lobby wants me to run. Not saying everything the lobby wants you to run is bad. Not saying it at all. But because I only get 5 priorities, and sometimes when you have a platform, you want to touch all those priorities like housing, education, mental health, helping our seniors, small businesses, all those things. So it's like shuffling to make sure everybody can get one. But all 100 legislators get 5 priorities. Now, if you still have some bills lingering, which we all do, we can apply for a late bill. Sometimes that get approved, sometimes it doesn't. And when it doesn't get approved, you can bring it back the next session, because our terms is 2 years terms. So every 2 years I'm up for re-election. I can serve 8 years in the House and 8 years in the Senate, vice versa. Each policy that's put on the table, did y'all know it has to go through the House and the Senate before it goes to the governor? Did you know? Okay, so it goes both chambers. Then it goes to the governor. Guess what? The governor can veto any bill. Well, I already told him, sir, please don't play with me. Let's have a conversation first. Let's see if we can get it where we need to get it. Don't bring your veto pen out for me, because I work hard on my policies, just like my other colleagues. I'm just saying the communication I personally have with the governor. So I asked him to give me that at least. And it's not just me. Other legislators have conversations with him too. But I'm just telling y'all how I engage with him. And so the bill starts in the committee, right? So if a bill does not make it out of committee, it's done. Just because, for example, I use myself, we have the majority party. I happen to be a registered Democrat. We have the majority. We run the state of Colorado, the Democrats. But just because we're the majority, it doesn't mean we agree on everything. But what community doesn't know is because it's the people's house, you can lean in. I don't care if you're unaffiliated, independent. I don't do all the party politics. I do people politics because I'm a mom and I have a real family and I have a business. So I don't do the party or identity politics. I don't do that, or I don't do one issue politics. I look at things holistically as a member of my community that recognizes and understands what needs to happen at large as a whole, right? For the majority, not for a silo group of people. Because the state of Colorado is definitely not a monolith, so there's so many different things happening. But if a bill does not come out of committee, the first thing community say, oh, she's not doing her job. She's not passing laws, or he's not passing laws. The bill didn't make it. But never seen them in committee. They don't even understand the legislative process. They just doing this. I'd be like, but I'm telling you, like I share with all the other students and faculty that has been present, you, sir, ma'am, can come to a committee virtually, or you can come in person and testify on any bill you want. Can you click on committee? So, can you go down to public testimony options? Right there. You see? You can do this in school on your free period. And if it's not a big bill where there are 100 or 200 people want to testify, those happen on our gun bills. And it's police everywhere. There's order that has to be kept because people get real radical about the gun bills, whether if they want it or if they don't want it. So sometimes testimony is limited to 2 minutes when it's a large group of people, but if it's not a large group of people, you get 3 minutes. So you get 3 minutes, you get 3 minutes, you get 3 minutes, you get 3 minutes. I would encourage you to use those 3 minutes wisely as a student. If you need to write your testimony down and read it so you don't forget what you're wanting to say, or so you don't get nervous, do that. Unless you just like ready, impromptu, I'm rolling. These are my 3 minutes, time to shine. Boom, I got the mic. Do your thing, because that's how I am. I'm more of an impromptu person. But when I really, really want to make sure I'm hitting all my points, I make sure I have something there. So this is where you go to Colorado General Assembly website, and that's how you click to testify. Me, the type of legislator I am, say you did come up there on your free period, and you were reading, and your 3 minutes was up, and you didn't get to finish. You know what I'm going to do? At the end, I'm going to say, tell me your name again. Savannah. I'm going to say, Savannah, can you please finish your thought? I want to hear your thoughts. So you just finish what you were saying. It's creative ways to strategize, to get your message out, to make sure your entire speech can be heard. That's me, if you come to my committee. And I happen to serve on the health committee and the business and labor committee. So I get like the business bills and all the health bills. And y'all know healthcare is huge in this state. So that's a huge responsibility for a legislator. Huge. And that's an understatement. Like, the undertaking of this role is a big deal. A huge deal. Who in here is 17? Are y'all registered voters? No? Who's 16? Anybody in here 16? So y'all either 17 or 18? No? 15? Oh, really? Okay. Well, let me just get this information, because again, it's my job. I'm obligated to inform and educate, and that's what I do. I do all kinds of educational tours on this legislative process, because it's important, because civics in school doesn't get down into the meat of what should happen, which is okay for now. We need to change that, but because I am who I am, I want to make sure I let you know. So first, when you're 16, you can register to vote when you go get your permit. You can register to vote when you're 16. So by the time you turn 18, you're already registered and you're a registered voter. If you are 17 right now, and you will be 18 for this upcoming election, like the general election, which is, I think, November the 5th, and you are going to be 18 prior to November the 5th, you can vote. You can participate in the legislative process. How many people think your vote matters? Show of hands. Really, for real. How many people think their vote matters? Okay, cool. You thinking about it? Or you know your vote matters? Okay. How many in here don't think the vote matters? Or, wait, let me ask this question. How many people don't care? And it's cool if you don't care. I'm not here to make you care. You care? Okay, that's fair. Thank you for being honest. You care? You do? Okay. So, do you care enough to register to vote? I'll give you my card. We could chat. For real. Because it's important for us all to be a part of the political process. So, Colorado General City website, click on committees, go to public testimony, and that's how you testify. Guess what? On any bill. I mean, any bill you want to talk on, you can talk on it. You don't even need permission. You just need to sign up. If it's affecting you, education, your family, your job, who in here work? Who got a job? You? All of it plays a role to where your voice is important if you want to speak. I just want y'all to know it's public and y'all have access to it. Can you go on to legislators? So you can click on Find My Legislator. This is how you find your person. You can do it by your address, or you can do it by your zip code. But I thought that in that drop down, is there where you can put a legislator's name? Let me see. Oh, no, wait. Click on legislators. Legislators right there. Okay. Now scroll. Boom. There we are. look what y'all have access to. Every single legislator in the state. You have our office numbers. It tells you what party. It tells you what district. And the only way you're going to know your district is if you know your zip code. It has all our emails. Y'all can talk to both parties. If you got a question or you hear something on the news or see a bill or something, just go to this website, click on legislators. Y'all can talk to anyone, senator or representative. Ask any question y'all want. Y'all can come visit any legislator. I just would encourage you to reach out first. Even if you want to come visit me or Senator Exum, reach out first and say, hey, I want to plan to visit. Is anybody in here in the gifted and talented program? No? Do y'all have that here? The gifted and talented? Okay. So every year there's a gifted and talented strand. I'm talking about from all over the state of Colorado, not just a school. But they have a legislative day. It's a shadow day where they sign up to shadow legislators. And I've been selected since I've been elected in 2022 for students to shadow me. You can have 2 students on the floor with you each side. Or you can have more students sitting around the chamber. Y'all actually be inside the chamber on the floor with legislators. Even if you don't care, come in. It's a cool experience. Then you'll care afterwards. You'll be like, you know what, this is really cool. Or, you know what, these people up here crazy. I don't want no parts of it. You get to decide on what day it is and what's happening to where you can be a part of the legislative process. And we call it the gallery. Lots of students flood the gallery throughout session just to listen in to certain bills. Or some students may have a civic class, and so part of their civic class is coming to the legislature, having those conversations. I wanted y'all to see that, how you can testify and how you have access to all your legislators. Now I'm getting ready to tell y'all the legislative package that I have. Ask questions. You should ask questions when I tell y'all. So the 5 priorities that I'm bringing, and this is just in the House. I have bills in the Senate too. So here's the deal. If a bill starts in the Senate, it doesn't count against my 5. So I can have my 5, and then a senator can say, hey, Rep. English, I need a House prime sponsor. A prime sponsor is the legislators that carry the bill. The co-sponsors is the one that say, oh, that's a cool bill, let me sign on to that. I can get with that, right? So if you hear co-prime or prime sponsors, that means these legislators came up with this policy and they put it on the table. So all these bills, I am the prime sponsor on the bills. Now I have to find Senate sponsors. I have a couple Senate sponsors already, but throughout the process, I'll have to say, hey, Senator, can you believe in this policy enough to get it out the Senate? So, and y'all know what an amendment is, right? We're going to amend any bill. Bills get amended all the time. If there's an education bill and y'all actually listen to the bill and y'all reach out and be like, Dr. E, listen, what about taking that part out of the bill, putting this part in the bill? You know what I'll say? Send me the amendment. Send me the language you want to see. Then you, as a student, send me the language, and I go to the bill sponsor. If it's not me, you can even do that on my bills too. But I go to the bill sponsor if it's not me, and I'll say, hey, I have some amendment language. Would you accept this? I would want them to accept it. I want them to say yes. But if they don't say yes, I can still try and run your amendment on that bill. But now what needs to happen is when we're on the floor. So committee, the bill's voted out of committee, it goes to the floor. The floor is called second reading, which is where the debate comes. All the House of Representatives, we're going ham, we're on the floor, we're fighting for our policies, right? Then after second reading is where But second reading is where I would put your amendment on. And I would have to get the votes. So you know what I would have to do? If I didn't think I had the votes, I would have to call a division. A division makes you now have to stand up. All those people who want to vote for Amendment 99,001, please stand. So the legislators that like y'all amendment, they'll stand with me. And I'll be like, what? Now what? No, I'm just playing. But it'll either pass or fail. But guess what? I tried for you. And you saw that I tried for you. But sometimes democracy ain't fair. But it's fair when we all can play a role and have an opportunity to be in the process. So when a bill goes from second reading, it goes to third reading and final passage. We can still debate a little on third reading because I want to convince you one more time, because some of my colleagues may not be with it still. I have one more opportunity to go in the well. The well is where only legislators can go. If you ever come to the Capitol, don't go down the center aisle if you don't want to be tackled. Only legislators can walk down the center aisle. I'm being serious. Yeah. But anyway, so when it goes to third reading, I still can say something, but you don't get as long as you would on second reading. So I still have an opportunity to argue for my bill. Then you'll watch the board. Y'all can watch all the proceedings on this website, the Colorado General Assembly website. Did y'all know that? Y'all can watch it. If y'all want to sit there all day and watch it, y'all can watch it. Y'all will hear committee. Y'all can watch floor work, which is second reading and debate. It's all on the Colorado channel. You can watch it real time, or you can come in the people's house and sit in the gallery or sit in committee and just listen. I think y'all should try it at least once. Tell your teacher or your counselor, whoever, y'all need a bus for a day to come up to the Capitol. And I can tell y'all to come if it's when my education bill comes, or whenever y'all want, but I'm just saying, the education bill. Come on. And some students come and they're able to testify that day. So I'm just throwing out access and opportunity for you all. So it's committee, second reading, third and final passage. But if it don't get to committee, through committee, it's done. It's done till next year. It's called PI. I had to PI my bill. Postpone indefinitely. That just means it can't come back on the calendar during that legislative session. Y'all tracking? Y'all following me? Okay, whenever y'all not, please tell me that y'all not, because I'm here to provide clarity. But let me tell you what I'm bringing on the table. So I'm introducing the Maternal Health Equity Act. It's called Momnibus. The short title, of course, is basically protecting black women when they're going in to give birth. We should not die bringing life into the world, right? So this policy is going to confront racial disparities in maternal outcomes by strengthening cultural competency training for providers. So I'm saying if you are an OBGYN, you're now going to have to take at least 1 or 2 hours of cultural competency training every year so it can stay fresh and so you can understand culturally. Because right now there's an imbalance and too many black lives is being lost, just to be clear, in the maternal health space. Is establish respectful maternity care standards, expanding data collection, and creating clear accountability for discriminatory negligent care. So that's one. That's the Maternal Health Equity Act. Number 2 is the Housing Access, Credibility, and Community Stability Act. I call this my flagship bill in the affordable housing space. And this is going to break down structural barriers to home ownership for first generation and working class families. And it's going to expand shared equity, a zero interest down payment opportunities, and it allows rent reporting to help renters build credit. So for example, if you're renting, if mom or dad is renting, but eventually mom and dad wants to become a homeowner to create generational wealth, to pass it to you, do you pass it to your babies or whomever? The rent has been reported. So they have already built that rental history and that stability. So if you are a homeowner and you have 50 or more dwellings that you own, you have to be in this program. If you have less than, you can choose to opt into it, but the cost is not on the renter. It would be on the homeowner if there's even a cost. It may not be, because we're in a situation where none of our bills can really have a fiscal note because the state of Colorado's budget is in distress. I'll say it in a cool way. So we can't do too much that has a large fiscal note. And so this also stabilized manufactured home communities through resident and nonprofit ownership tools without creating new general funds. And I talked to you about that. This one is key to you. The Student Safety and Mental Wellness in School Act. And this focuses on prevention rather than punishment. It strengthens awareness of anonymous reporting systems, because we know there is those things, but it strengthens the awareness of it, because some people either have reported to it and don't believe in it, or some people haven't because they don't know that it's there. So that's an issue we have to fix. And it's anonymous, but it standardizes threat assessment and student support practices, integrating mental wellness into school safety planning, and supports families while using existing resources and the infrastructure that you already have. So we're not creating another fiscal note or taxing schools to do something they don't have the resources to do. And so that's for you all. Through the Hair Product Transparency and Safety Act. People don't think this is important, but you know how important this is? Because if we choose to wear weave, wigs, whatever, we choose to put chemicals or whatever on our hair, some of these products are not listing what kind of ingredients are in these products. And many of the products that women, not just black women, women across the board, is attacking our reproductive systems, and it's causing cancers because there are toxic chemicals that aren't identified on the manufactured packaging. So I'm making sure that in the state of Colorado, those toxic chemicals are listed on the manufactured packaging, so you will know what you're buying. If you still choose to buy it, okay. But you need to know what you're purchasing because it's about our health. So, and finally, the Family Stability and Kinship Care Act. And it's working to keep children safely connected to relatives and trusted caregivers. And it prioritizes kinship placements, protects meaningful grandparent-grandchildren relationships, and it modernizes parenting time enforcement with child-centered remedies, and improves coordination between child support, compliance, and safe family access. So in Colorado, we want to keep families together. If there's an extreme circumstance, we want to prioritize kinship, where a young person can stay with a family member. We don't want them going off to a stranger or someone they don't know when they're already in a stressful or traumatic situation. So these are my 5 priorities in the House. And I have a couple things in the Senate. Who wants to talk about it? Did I say something that you are interested in within this package? What you interested in? The family kinship one? That's a big one. And you know how much pushback I'm going to get? That's going to be a huge fight, and it may be a huge fight with the Adoptive Parents Coalition. they may have some concerns or lobbyists that lobby for kids to be safe, and keeping in mind that a lot of these children or families has experienced domestic abuse within their household. So all these things play a factor. But I would never put a policy on the table that's going to put families or kids in an unsafe space. Never. But there still will be pushback and arguments that I will have to make sure that I'm pushing to make sure this policy can be passed. Which other bill? Can I hear from some of my young men? What y'all thinking about this whole conversation or this whole process? I just want to hear, what are your thoughts?
I mean, I like what you're doing. I think everything you've covered is really important. Like, I've like seen some of the stuff you're doing within my own family. So I think if they do get passed, that will be really helpful for everybody else.
Cool. Thank you for sharing. You got something? Kind of what he said? Some things that your family may be experiencing. And guess what? It's not just your family. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes people think it's just them, but when I tell you it is not, and this is a greater issue across the entire state. But now that you know, you can come and weigh in, virtual or in person. This is something that I would do. What are your thoughts? The kinship one? Okay.
I feel like that's important to like kids who don't want to fully lose their families and like go to someone they don't fully know.
Okay. Thank you for sharing. What about you?
I think the domestic is more important because it like sometimes it helps save lives too. And it just helps a lot.
Okay. Thank you. Ladies, how y'all feeling about hair product transparency and maternal health? Say something. How you feel? No, this is important.
I feel like it is important because like a lot of cancers and stuff is like bad and stuff, like especially like breast cancers.
Yeah. Yeah. What about you? See, I would make y'all talk. Y'all gonna have to talk back to me. That's how we start different conversations and more engagement.
Yeah, I agree with what she said because, like, fighting cancer because we didn't know what kind of products she was using. So, like, that, like, that's, like, not, like, yeah.
But you all agree that we should know what we're not only consuming, what type of products we're using. You all would agree we should know, right? We should know what's in these products. That's like important.
I don't know if the two are related, but my grandma used to be a hairstylist, and then she got breast cancer. So.
Did she? Chemicals, just chemicals, and I'm not a doctor, but I'm assuming just based on data and current conversations that's been happening, it contributes to chemicals and toxins and things like we inhale. Like if she was inhaling, what do you call it? Relaxers and different things like that she was using and applying on people's hair. All these things can play a factor in that. That's why I said it causes cancers and attacks our reproductive system as women. So, yeah. Did she beat it?
Yeah.
Good. Good. I'm glad. I'm glad to hear that. What about you? Y'all two over here. You just sitting so unbothered. You know what? You are me in middle school. No, like your not to sit in a bad way. Like your demeanor, kind of like you so unbothered, even though the conversation is happening. And that's how I was, for real. But then, like, cause she can just be listening and don't have to say nothing. It doesn't mean that nothing is not resonating with her. She's just showing right now she ain't bothered with it. But eventually, if she wants to, she'll say something or do something like outside of these walls. So it's cool. I didn't mean it in a bad way, because I used to be like that. Like, I was like, I don't want to, I'm good. Y'all just keep doing what y'all doing. But then when I started really listening and see where I can get in there and do something different, that's when I just opened up and said something. So, one of y'all want to share?
Me?
Yeah.
I think it's like the one thing that stuck out to me is like, you know that camper crab?
Mm.
Hair crab?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The transparency, the hair transparency one?
Yeah.
Okay.
A lot of my family, they use like a lot of weed sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And mostly my mom.
Mm-hmm. And mom needs to know what's on the package. I got braids in my hair. I need to know what's on the package. But I know what's in the package now, so I'm doing something different. But what were you going to say?
She's shocked like what's on here and stuff, like what chemicals is, what the stuff she used to do her hair and stuff. You know?
Mm-hmm.
To me, I think she's careful enough, but that cancer crown, I don't play around it. I won't do that to my kids.
Right. Because it should say warning. This could cause cancer. Because if you see, some products do say that this is known to cause cancer in California. Have y'all ever seen something like that in the store where it says this is known to cause cancer in California? Yeah, we need to be saying that too. This is known to cause cancer in Colorado or wherever, or just known to cause cancer, period, because of what's in it. And we have a right to know what's in it. I don't know if the business community or if the hair community, the hair manufacturers, I don't know if they're going to fight me on it, but I'm still running it, right? So everything is either a pass or a fail. But I gave you the package that I'm running, and if anything is important to you, like, please weigh in or reach out to me. Y'all know how to get in touch with me. Representative English. Y'all just go to the Colorado General Assembly website or email my office, because my office responds, or whoever has my cell, my business card, I respond. Because I want to know, how can I help? If it's a long period of time, then my staff will respond, because I got some other stuff going on. But yeah, I just wanted to come here today to kind of give y'all a little bit of what happens in the Colorado government and who we are as leaders, and for you to know that you have full access to whoever your person is or whoever you can make the connection with to have conversations about education or businesses. Do I have any future entrepreneurs in here? No? Nobody want to run their own business? Y'all just want to work for the man forever or the woman forever? What y'all trying to... Let me see the hands again. Who wants to be an entrepreneur? You? Huh? You in the middle? Did one of y'all say y'all wanted to be an entrepreneur?
She said she wants her own law firm.
You want your own law firm? You won't get it. And guess what? I got connections for you.